down payment they can give you. Hello? Makes sense? All right. So it depends on the amount of work that needs to be done. In my case, if I could go in there and clean that house up for $5,000 or less, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And get it pristine, and then, however, it's not gonna go for $220. What do you think we ought to sell it for, Paul?
$244.9.
That's a little greedy, man. $239.9 is better.
That was actually what I was thinking, but you were going to correct me no matter what I said, so.
No, actually, every once in a while, you're right, Paul. So how much are you gonna publish for the down payment?
I'm going to publish nothing for the down payment.
Okay, you're not gonna let me lead you into that trap, are you, Paul?
I have been in this rodeo before, Ron.
Okay, so in other words, we do not publish the down payment, do we, guys? No. Why? Because we don't know what it is yet, because the market hasn't told us how much they can put down. Ye who speak first have big tennis shoe in my mouth. We never publish the down payment, nor do we ever publish the rent. We let the market tell us, and then we ask them, is that the best you can do? And we get them up. That's how we do it. That's how we get to big down payments. And by the way, I showed you a deal yesterday where so they put up 50 grand down. When they called, they said they only had 20. When Tish called them back, they said, I ain't going to accept that. He's already turned down more. What's the most you can put up? They said, well, we can go up to 50. So Tish called me, and I said, their loan is approved. So what do you think the least you're going to take is, Paul?
What was the question?
What's the least you're going to take down in your mind?
Even though you're not publishing.
Probably 20.
I agree. 20 is the minimum. Guys, I would let the house sit vacant and pay the $1,100 payment on it before I took less than $20,000 to put somebody in this house. This nice house, 20 square foot, he's in great condition. I would rather make the payment. However, when Paul buys this house, you're going to get a couple months before yours is due, aren't you?
Right.
All right. So they owe you $219, not $220. They owe you $220, and you owe out wow, are you kidding me? $155.
Sweet.
So now look, however, if you collect 20 up front, remember only 10 of that is yours.
Right.
And then if you go spend 5 repairing the house, you can buy a phone that doesn't ring. If you spend 5 to repair the house, now you're not going to get much of upfront cash because you only got about 5 left.
Right.
Got it? Okay. However, are we willing to sacrifice that to get this beautiful back in? $65,000 back in, guys.
Woo! Yeah.
That's a good back end. So now here we are again. Do we put a tenant buyer in here and set it and forget it the wrong way?
And the wolf way.
Or do we put one in here and pester them until we get them cashed out and do all the work for them because they're too lazy to do it themselves? The Jay Connor way. Who gets to choose? He does.
I get to choose.
He does. He does. And the good part is, what do you think you could lease option this house for per month?
Oh, probably, I guess I wouldn't know. I haven't checked. So,
Well, I can tell you right now you're in Seattle, and that's a good thing. Rents are high. Anybody got a guess? I think at least $1,600 a month. Remember, lease option tenant buyers pay more than tenants. The market will tell you what they can pay. You'd be surprised how many people can pay way more market if they get a chance to get in this house and call it their own. But if you only get $1,600, it pays out $1,071. That's a $500 monthly cash flow on a house you got almost for free. Is that right?
right.
So in other words, you're going to put them in here and you don't care what they do.
Pretty much.
Because also in this market, you know that 2 years from now, that house is going to be worth a lot more than the $220 it's worth now, don't you?
Right.
So if you put it in here, if they buy, great. If they don't buy, great. You don't much care as long as they pay the rent. And in fact, you don't even care if they pay the rent, do you, Paul?
Correct.
Because if they don't pay the rent, what happens? They leave behind the 20 grand, and then he's got to go rent it out again and collect another $20,000 bucks.
Right.
It's a cash cow. It's a golden goose. It just keeps laying golden eggs until it is no more. And the good thing is, this deal, there is no balloon in this deal.
That's right.
He's going to take over the debt, no wrap, no nothing, unless the seller disagrees.
Yep.
Okay? It's a sweet one.
Awesome.
All right.
Congratulations.
You already got an intro, right?
Yep.
The wolf couple.
Her?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're going to announce here shortly, in case you need money for that deal, we know where you can get it.
Really?
Yeah,
That's good to know.
that's good to know. Cover
Next.
that, it's the, Deshaun.
Now, if I don't miss the first step.
Go ahead and grab a chair there.
All right, we're in Seattle, right?
Yep.
No, we're not, in Oregon.
Oh, wait, Oregon, sorry, you're right.
Okay, well, we
Where?
are in Seattle.
PDX organized, right?
PDX
Okay.
Oregon.
Looks like it.
All right, what do we got? Our
ARV is $360,000,
asking,
309,
that's good. Loan,
309,
that's even better. So they'll sell for what they owe,
correct.
and they said that.
Yep,
Okay, payment,
payment is 1,900 PITI.
not bad on a $360,000 house.
Everything's brand new, yeah.
Everything's brand new.
Yeah.
5 bedrooms,
Vacant.
3 bath, 2,200 square feet, vacant house. Is this not the American dream? Okay, do they still live in town?
Bacon.
Do they still live in
they
town?
relocated.
They're out of town?
They're relocated already.
Okay, all right, have you discussed how you're gonna get in the house?
The neighbor said that they'll let them in Sunday at 11.
Sunday at 11, perfect. So all you gotta do is go see the house, there's nobody even to talk to. Got it?
Check the key and
Can you
turn.
handle that?
No, you know, yeah, all
The
right.
neighbor's gonna let you.
Now, what are you gonna do after you see the house and find out it's gorgeous?
Get back to Lynette.
That's the right answer, if she's your mentor. Now, God, I love this deal.
These are our favorite deals, no money down.
I'm telling you what, they're gonna be
credit.
standing in line around the corner to get into this 2,200 square foot, 5-bedroom house.
Can I make a phone call and sign the contract, get the contract?
No, be careful. You don't wanna seem anxious, or desperate, or beg. You need to go see the house as fast as you can get back home, which is gonna be Sunday for you, all right? And then we need to get on the phone with the seller and tell them, okay, we don't have to see any issues, we'll be sending you an agreement. And then as soon as you get it, as soon as I email it, I'm gonna give you a couple hours, and then I'm gonna call you, and then if you don't have any issues, I'm gonna ask you to okay it, send it back, and I'll get this thing closed next week. You are gonna close it next week, right?
That's correct.
Okay, I mean skid marks to the closing table. I mean as fast as you can go. Because somebody had just told you they're gonna give you a $360,000 house for free if you take over the debt at $310,000 on it, and you are gonna pay the closing costs.
Yes.
I know you are. Guys, when you get free houses, you pay the closing costs. Okay, so just don't, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered here. Only asking the seller to pay the closing costs out of their pocket when they're giving you their house. So it's always a given, you're paying the closing costs. In this case, I don't even care what they are. I don't care what they are, because I'm gonna pay them regardless of what they are. Because I got all this equity on this beautiful house in this beautiful neighborhood with a very reasonable monthly payment on it. I know the upside for me is way big enough that I don't care what the closing costs are. And they're not that much anyway in Oregon, as I recall. All right, so what you gonna do with this house?
Send my wife on vacation.
No. First you have to get money to show. Vacations cost money, especially if your wife is involved.
She makes the
So you're gonna lease the house. Well, look, you got two choices. We're back to that. You only owe $3,099. You could just put it on the market and cash out of it, but gosh, I hate to see you do that. Why don't we do this? Why don't we lease option it? You think it's worth $360? I think it's worth $379.9. Don't you all agree? Huh? But Ron, what if it doesn't appraise? But class, who's going to get it appraised? And lease optioning it to them. There is no appraisal. And what if there is? What if I lease option it to them for $379.9 and a year from now they want to go get a loan? Will it appraise for $379.9? No, appraise for $380. Because they have a ready, willing, and able buyer that says they'll pay it. That's what determines the market value, if the appraiser can justify it. And I promise you, if I can get an appraisal for $360, I can get one for $380 when I got a buyer ready to pay it, especially a year from now after the values go up more. Quit worrying about what it appraised. It's not your problem anyway. They can always pay the difference, or trade you something, or whatever. In worst case, you could always lower the price as an absolute last resort, just ahead of suicide.
Or carry a second.
Yeah, oh, I forgot, I'm live on Facebook. Oh. Jeez. I'm sure I'll get letters about that one.
I'll be the first one, right?
So, all right, so you gotta put this on the market. How come we're raising the price? 'Cause we can. Anything you sell on terms is worth more than in the same thing you sell for cash, no matter what that thing is. 80% of the market cannot qualify for a loan, are gonna love you for giving the opportunity to get into this 2,200 square foot, 5-bedroom house that they don't have to go to the bank and qualify for yet. Your objective, get them in, give them plenty of time to fix whatever's broke, and let them go get a loan and cash everybody out. Or leave, whichever they choose. And I can tell you right now, Deshaun, this house, there's no way I'd let anybody in it for less than $35,000.
Thank you,
And I'm telling you, this is one you'll get 50 on if you're patient.
thank you.
You will, just because of the 5-bedroom factor. Now, this is assuming it's a beautiful house in a beautiful neighborhood, which it seems to be.
It is.
And it's in great condition. Okay,
It's brand new.
so if you get 35 down, let's see, 380 minus 35 is what? 345? 345. They owe you 345, and you owe out 309.
309.
310, all right?
Yeah, 310.
Okay, you got 35 on the back end and 35 on the front end. Holy smokes. And then, what do you think this thing will go for per month? 2,500? 3,000? 2,600? Okay, so you pay out, so you got a $600 a month positive cash flow. And who does all the repairs? Tenant buyer does all the repairs. On this house, it's not even new. Probably no repairs will be needed. And if they are, they're a stopper in the bathroom sink. Like, who cares, okay? Beautiful deal, man.
Gold Club.
Gold Club lead.
Yeah, and that was a Gold Club
I'm
lead.
telling you, we need to raise the price on this Gold Club. Wow, this is a good one.
Wow. Congratulations. God bless you.
You make sure you follow, are you working with them?
Not yet.
Who you working
You
with?
didn't sign up
Aren't you full?
yet. Yes.
We got 10 mentors. You don't need any of them can guide you through this.
We're full.
Wait a minute, this is in Oregon. We need to send them to Jeannie and Michelle.
Yes, Jeannie and Michelle.
They live in Northern California.
Yep, they're awesome.
And they're great. Okay, get them in for before we leave here. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Well, that's a good one, man.
Okay, Aaron? Come on up here, Aaron.
I can't see through you.
What? You can't? Oh, yes, it's here.
Again.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Aaron, what we got? R. Notice I always ask for the math first.
Yes, ours
What do
is,
you think? If you don't pass the math test, I don't need to know the rest. All right, R.
ours is $270,000.
Okay, asking.
Asking $242,
Okay, loan.
free and clear.
All right. And you said yes to you take monthly payments.
Yes,
And what are the terms they said agreed to?
$2,000 down. I said, we usually put nothing down. And he said, well, I would need something. I said, well, what's the least amount of money we could put down? And he said
He
2,000.
said 2,000.
He made the offer,
So
yes.
he made you an offer.
Uh-huh,
Did you accept his offer?
I did.
All right. Did Aaron accept his offer?
Just heard about it now.
Okay.
$2,000 a month with a 5-year term.
All right, and that's on a 230, that's too high. We gotta get him down on that.
3-bedroom,
We will.
2-bath, 2,200 square feet.
That's good. That's good. Can't be paying out 2,000 a month though, because that looks like you might have trouble getting that from the market. So we gotta just tell him that. When you go to the house, don't argue about that.
No repairs.
Especially if it's free and clear, so he has no debt.
Yeah.
So, what's your argument gonna be? I'm him, you're you, you're in my house. You get me down on the payment. What are you gonna say?
Is that the best you can do?
Well, I mean, look, I could rent it for that.
Look, the market just isn't gonna be able to support this monthly payment.
Well, I don't know that's true.
Well, I could take it to the market and see what it brings back.
Okay, but, that's great, but then I'll never know how much you're gonna pay me, will I?
That's true.
All right, we're gonna reverse this.
All right.
Okay, I'm you, you're the seller. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Aaron, it looks like we're agreed on pretty much everything here. I'm okay with your term. I'm okay with your down payment. However, I'm having heartburn over your monthly payment because simply, your property simply can't afford $2,000 a month.
Okay. So what you have in mind?
A lot less. What's the least you could take per month? We can agree upon everything else and I pay the closing costs here.
What can you offer me?
Well, what do you think it'll rent for, Aaron?
I don't know. I don't,
No clue?
not a clue.
Well, neither do I, and that's the problem. But I do know it won't rent for $2,000, and even if it did, I know that there would not be any reason for me to stay in the deal and collect the rent and pay you because I wouldn't be able to get anything per month. So I've got to have that number way down because I'm thinking the top market's going to pay us $1,500, and out of that, I got to take care of the property, take care of the maintenance, and all of that. So I got to get you to take considerably less, or it's going to be a deal killer for me. I'm not a nonprofit organization on purpose. And I tell them that, and you know what? They appreciate it. They get it. When you tell people I intend to make a profit here, it's no big secret to them. Like it's a shock. No, I'm on a mercy mission here. I came all the way out here and I'm going to do all this work for free just to help you with a problem you don't even have. No, I'm here to make a profit. Get over it. Just like a realtor would if they listed your house. So I got to have a monthly spread or I just don't want to do it. So what's the least you can take?
Can you do 1,200?
Well, you're going in the right direction. What's your next choice?
1199.
Okay, let's get it to 1,000 and we got a deal.
All right, I can do that.
Done. All right, we got it done. I'm telling you right now, I'm not paying $2,000. I really aren't, unless. All right, let's play plan two. You're hell bent on getting $2,000. Okay?
Okay.
Now you're asking $242. All right. So you're telling me if I don't pay you $2,000 a month, you don't want to sell it to me? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
So you want me to take a negative cash flow to buy your house? Is that correct?
Ooh. Well, I need the 2,000.
So without the 2,000, you don't want to sell?
Yeah.
All right. Well then, if I were to give you 2,000, what are we going to do about that purchase price?
What'd you have in mind?
I intend to get it way down if you want me to take a negative cash flow to support your $2,000 a month habit. I mean, think about it. You pay a realtor 6%. You pay a realtor $20,000.
All right, $20,000.
Well, you mean 20,000 less than your 242?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll take 220,000 for it if I pay 2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Sure, that's the best you can do.
Yeah, I'm sorry though.
All right, we got a deal.
That's a good deal.
That was a 15-second, $22,000 drop. Would that work? Yes.
Yes.
Would I pay him $2,000 a month to get the price down $22,000 in a heartbeat? What's the worst can happen? I lose a few $100s a month, isn't it? Hello? Common sense. Think with me. Is that not the worst that could happen? Okay, but in order for me to even lose that money, aren't I going to have to put a tenant buyer in here and collect $20,000, $30,000 from them first? So where do I get the money to lose the $300 a month? From the tenant buyer. And if I am losing a few $100s a month, aren't I going to make this a shorter term deal for the tenant rather than a longer term deal? Yes, you've got to think through these things. Common sense. Do not turn this deal away just because you might lose a few $100s a month. Isn't it also possible that I might get the $2,000 from the marketplace and not lose anything per month? Yes, it is. All right. So anyway, you're going to lease this thing out. You think it's worth $270, so what are you going to sell it for?
289.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Don't ever forget the 900. That was free money. All right. How much down?
As much as I can get.
That answer is never going to work with me, and you know it by now.
So at least 25, 30,000.
Okay, I agree. Now, guys, let's be clear. You're not gonna go doing what you're gonna learn Saturday, to drive in buyers for this house, and they all got 25 grand. Okay? You understand, most of them don't have 25 grand. Remember what we talked about yesterday? You gotta go through all the crap to get to the cream. So in other words, the minority of the callers are gonna have the 25 grand or more, not the majority. So don't go out here and go home. If somebody calls you and says, well, I got $2,000 to put down, and then you come back and tell us, there ain't nobody got any money where I live. They're in a city, in a country that has a $289,000 house that don't have people with money. I don't care where it is. You just got to go get them to contact you. That's all. Geez, even Cleveland. Sorry. I promise you I'm going to get some notes from Clevelanders. All right, so they owe you $265, and you owe out what?
$242.
$242 until we get them down, right? So let's say we don't get them down. All right, 25 on the run in, 23 on the back end, 25 on the front end, and whatever you get per month.
Works for me.
Not a bad one, is it?
Not gonna complain about that.
And you don't need any money. Oh, you need $2,000 down. So, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing down.
Yeah.
Good one.
Congratulations.
And I know you're in the middle.
Yes, he actually has a second deal.
No reason for us not to get that deal done, then is
Let's make this the Aaron show.
Okay, this one here is important numbers. Let's see.
Oh, wait a minute now.
Oh, yeah.
Where's this thing at?
Oh, yeah, we said so.
What?
It's not that we don't trust you, Facebook,
But we don't trust you.
but we don't. So this one, Ron, the ARV is 189.
Yep. There is no such thing. The ARB is 190.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They're asking 129,800.
That's nice. All right.
They
By the
all-
way, where are all these ARBs coming from?
Real estate agents.
Okay. Who looked them up? You look them up?
These, I believe, yeah, this was from Real Estate ABC.
All right, realestateabc.com, realestateabc.com. Write it down, get it on your phone, you're gonna be using it every single day. I used it already 5 or 6 times this morning. realestateabc.com, because while I was sitting up in my room this morning, I made 6 offers on all cash deals from my iPad, which I'm gonna show you how to do this afternoon. Realestateabc.com is the easiest site there is to get comps on. I mean, it's so easy. It's all on one page. We'll go on it this afternoon. All right. So you do have to learn how to read them though. So we got 100 and what'd you say the order was? 190?
190.
Okay. And they only want 129.
They owe, well, they're asking 129 and they owe 57,000.
Okay.
Their payment's only 200 PITI.
All right. And it needs no repairs.
No repairs and it's vacant.
And they're relocating, so it's vacant now. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,253 square feet. So it's a little box, but it's a box that I've done hundreds of. This little box is somebody's dream home, isn't it? Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, terms?
Terms are $2,000 down, take over the payment of $200 a month.
What?
And they said they would do a 10-year term.
All right. Choked up. Can I get some water up here on that one?
Nick?
All right, who made whom the offer?
United.
You recorded this, right?
Yep,
You're gonna send it to them, right?
yes,
Because they're not believing they said they'd take 200 a month.
yep.
All right. In fact, I think we just ought to accept their offer. What do you think, Aaron?
Works for me.
If I were you, I'd go out to the house and I'd accept their offer without being too eager. I'm serious, don't be too eager now. Don't be too eager.
Should smile with all my teeth.
Yeah, let me check, let me how it's gonna work. Ready? I'm the buyer, you're the homeowner, ready? All right, so I'm coming to your house. You gonna let me in or what?
Hello?
I'm Ron.
Hi, Rob.
Nice to meet you. Can I just take a walk?
Sure.
No dogs or naked people or anything? I actually say that, guys. It breaks the ice. All right? So I walk through the house, boom, boom, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living room, dining room. Looks like the last 3,000 of them to me. All right. So then I come right into the living room, And I tried to get husband and wife together, they're both there, and listen to this, because it's as simple as this, and you ought to write it down. The next words out of my mouth are, house looks okay to me, do you have any questions? No seminars, no diary of the mouth. Do you have any questions? You're going to be surprised how often they say no. Okay, now, what do they do? Just answer them. All right, now when they're through, I say, all right, do you understand how we've agreed that I'll be buying your house? And then I want them to repeat it back to me. And then when I see them screwing it up, and they always do, then I repeat it back to them in very simple terms. What I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take over your debt. My attorney will close it and create a wraparound. What state are we in? Washington? Washington. Wraparound deed of trust to you that says I owe you. How's my purchase price here?
$129.
I owe you $127 because I've agreed to give you $2,000 down, and my payments to you will be $200 a month, and you will have a term of 10 years by which sometime during that time it'll all be paid off. Is that what we agreed upon?
Yeah.
I'm paying all the closing costs, so you don't have to bring anything to closing. All right? Any other questions?
No.
All right. Well, this is a purchase and sale agreement. I'll need your okay where it says seller. Take a minute, look it over. Let me know if you have any questions. That's enough. All right. I need your okay right there where it says seller. That's good. All right. All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll get it set up, and I'll be in touch, and we'll be closing next week. All right. If they're in town, I'll send you the address of the attorney's office. If they're not, the attorney will be sending you the paperwork. You can just sign it, send it back, and follow his instructions. Fair enough? Okay. I will need all the paperwork you have on the house, how to contact the lender, anything you can tell me that shows the balance, anything you got on the house that I might have interest in. I will collect that either in the house or before closing. Everything he's got, I'm getting. That's simple. Okay, thank you, sir. Nice doing business with you. Okay. Jeez. Problem is trying to figure out if I'm paying $200 a month, how the heck are we going to write that up as principal and interest and whatever? Okay, that cannot be PITI. Cannot be. Won't cover it. So I can tell you right now that's wrong. You hear me? $200 a month won't even cover the taxes and insurance on this house, much less the principal and interest on the $57,000 balance. So there's something wrong with the payment, but it's a good sign. It's low. We're not going to wind up with $200 a month. Common sense will tell me that. But we're going to wind up with a low payment, aren't we? Hello? All right. You know the routine now, don't you, Aaron? What are we going to do with this puppy?
Lease option?
Yeah. You say it's worth $190. You got a lease option it, or let's not break the 200 mark. How's that? Okay. You're gonna get about $15,000 to $20,000 down. They owe you $185, and you owe out $107. Right? $127.
$127 because he gave $2,000.
This is a beaut. $58 on the back, $15 on the front, minus the $2 you give them. Minus the closing cost. Huh?
Sweet.
Now, you gonna push them to the close, or you gonna just set and forget it?
Oh, so I don't forget it.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't really believe you, but I hear you. It's very difficult to go to sleep at night and know there's $58,000 laying there that you could get if you wanted it. But, you know, the more money you make, the less you care about that. Because the truth is, guys, the longer you hold this house, the more money it's going to make you. You analyze it every which way but Sunday. Remember, you're getting a nice monthly cash flow on this house. Holy crap! What do you think this thing will run for? $1,500?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're paying. Let's say your payment's going to wind up being $500. That's $1,000 a month positive cash flow on a house you got for almost free. So this is a golden goose. You want to just keep feeding the best feed you can find, and let them keep laying the golden eggs. Value goes up. The buyer don't buy, they walk, you do it again until somebody buys. You got 10 years, you don't want them to buy. I'm on Facebook, so I gotta be careful here what I say. So it may be that you want to put somebody in here that don't qualify at all. It could be longer it takes them to qualify, the better you like it. I mean, just a thought. Because when they qualify, you lose $1,000 a month, don't you? The goose dies. All right, good one, man. Jessica, where does Lee come from?
Gold Club.
Come off of Zillow, the Gold Club founded off of Zillow.
Yep.
Where'd that one come from?
This one's Gold Club.
It came off of our leads fed to you every day in your Gold Club site. See how important those leads are to you?
Wait a minute, the Zillow one actually came from the VA.
The VA outsourced, our source to the Zillow.
Sourced to
So the
Zillow.
VA went online and found the ad on Zillow.
Wow.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Frank,
Eric,
High five.
Eric,
Yes, sir.
any reason to believe you can't do 3 or 4 of those a
you
month?
want to do Dom?
Oh, I think I could do 5 or 6 of these a month.
I think you can do 5 or 6 a month too. Frankly, you can do 5 or 6 of those a month with almost no organization. You and one other person can do 5 or 6 of those a month. How do you think I know this?
Because you just.
I did it for years. Guys, there were some years when I did over 100 houses with me and one other person and one part-time person. And contractor crew that wasn't my people. I just hired them. And that was before we had all this automation.
That's right, now it's all automated.
Now, it's true. I was running around like a madman. It's true, I was working myself to death. But 100 houses in a year, that's a big deal right there. Some of them are wholesale, some of them are rehab, some of them are pretty houses. All right, who's next?
Lois, do you want to come do this one?
Lois, our Lois,
Oh.
from Seattle.
That's right, Seattle.
This is one woman here we have got to get a deal done for.
She
Because we
loves
are-
being on
We
Facebook
are partners with her.
in PPG.
Yeah, and
Wolves
she's one of
and her.
those folks that is sitting right here on the edge of the diamonds, but lost her shovel. Whatever the heck that means. So Lois takes a little bit of extra push, more than normal, because Lois is comfortable in her lifestyle, doesn't need to do this, and is scared. Anything I said wrong so far, Lois?
So far, so good.
And she just needs, actually, she needs to be threatened and bloodied and beaten and whatever it takes until we get her a deal, right?
That's right,
And of course, if she wants to share it with us, she has that right now as a BBG member.
that's right.
All right, so what do we got here? R,
Our on this is $260,000,
okay, asking,
207,
that's good. And loan,
202,
so they'll sell for what they owe with a little bit of money.
yep,
Guys see that?
cash to mortgage.
Now, why is that a good thing? Is it better that I just go in there and take over this debt if I'm not too worried about the seller situation, or do a wrap? If I take over the debt, there is no chance of any balloon. I cannot put I'm taking over an existing debt, I'm not creating a new one. If I create a new one, then there's always a chance they might want to put a term on it for me. And I don't want to do that. It doesn't mean I have to do it. I didn't do it on the deal I showed you yesterday. But it's just easier to take over the debt. However, remember what I said. If this seller's credit is great and you think they're going to go qualify for another house, you just should do a wrap. Just should do a wrap. Okay. Our payment is what?
It's $1340 PITI.
Okay, bedrooms and baths?
3 bedroom, 2 bath, 1524 square feet.
Okay. So all we got to do is take over the debt and give them $5,000 and they're happy.
Yes, it needs a little paint, cosmetic.
Okay.
There's a tenant in there month by month.
How much they paying?
$14.50 month by month.
So they're breaking even.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Can we buy houses with tenants already in them? Yes. Guys, if you want to make it easy for the seller to make a decision, say this: don't worry about the tenant, I'll handle them. You don't need to move them, you don't need to do anything, I'll handle them. And you will. Because the first thing you're going to do, once you get this thing bought, or even before, is go see the tenant and see if they want to buy it. Maybe they want to be your lease option tenant buyer. So think of this. What if they don't? Well, then you have 2 choices. You can either give them a notice to move, or you can just leave them in there until they move. But if you're going to leave them in there until they move, why don't you at least give them the option to buy, even if they don't have any money? Because with the option to buy comes a responsibility to do all of the repairs. better to have them do the repairs even if you don't get any money out of them, isn't it? Doesn't cost you a darn thing. It's not gonna be a long option, but what the heck? This is assuming you wanna leave them in there. And, you know, in this case, they're covering the debt, but if Lois was to leave them in there, she'd forfeit her front-end big old deposit, right now, until they moved out and she got it later. So these are decisions you get to make. All right, well, this is an easy one. It needs a little bit of work, and we don't know what a little bit means. You know, we'll just call it $5,000 for now, but we do know that it's worth $260,000, right?
Yes.
So what are you gonna do with it, Lois?
Lease purchase buyer,
How much?
279. 9.
Perfect. All right. How much down?
20.
20 is the lowest I'd take, Lois. I'm telling you, I would pay the payments on this house for 6 months before I took less than 20 grand.
Okay.
In which case, that's $1,340 a month. You will not have to. But in my mind, I don't even want to talk to them unless I know they got 20 grand or more. 260 they owe you, and you owe out 209, did you say?
207.
Wow, this is a sweet one. So you got 53 on the back end and 20 on the front end. And you're gonna get at least 2,000 a month for this house, would you agree?
The median was about 1,600.
Don't believe it, not on a $300,000 house. We call it 1,800 because we're conservative. All right. So, either way, that's 1,340. That's $460 a month positive cash flow. So what's stopping you from getting this finished?
The seller's working, we know it's slow, so.
Seller moving
Yeah,
slow?
we're trying to get in, there's a tenant in there, so we're trying to get in to see the house.
Well, you might be able to go on Zillow and see pictures of the inside. Did you look?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some.
How about this?
There was some.
How about we don't need to get in, we go ahead and get it under contract?
All right,
And then we get in before closing.
let's risk $10 and put it under contract.
What's the worst case scenario if I put it under contract and go in the house and find out it's destroyed? What's the worst that can happen? The absolute worst. I lose my $10, that's the worst that can happen. Because there is no contract left anymore that says that the seller can sue me if I don't buy. Those days are long gone. My only loss is my earnest money deposit, which would be $10. Shouldn't we be thinking about maybe getting them under contract first and doing all of that stuff we're going to worry about later? I'm talking to you thinker brains. By the time you get to analyzing these things to death, somebody else is going to come by. Contract first. Dot I's later. Nothing to lose. Nothing. Except $10. All right, so you know what to do. You still working with her?
Yes.
You're lucky. How much longer you got with her?
I think you got 2 months left.
Okay, I want to see at least 3 deals done in the next 2 months.
3 deals.
There's no reason on earth not to get this one done.
All right.
Congratulations.
Give her a round of applause. Yeah.
Okay. Robert, do you want to come up here? This is an interesting one I thought would be good for Facebook.
Where are we
It's
at?
more complicated.
Puyallup.
Yep. All right, Arv.
340.
340.
The one right across the street,
340.
about similar comps, one less bedroom, he sold for 335.
Okay, asking.
250.
Whoa. All right, loan.
160.
160.
Wow, payment, 850.
Yep.
No, they owe the IRS 40 grand.
Yeah.
That means there's a lien on the house.
Yep.
That should make your heart beat. I'll tell you why, guys. The lien is on the house, the lien is on the humans, but that doesn't mean it has to be your problem. So let me explain. If the seller were to deed you this house with the lien still on it, which it would be, All you've got to do is go to the IRS and apply for a release of lien. Once the deed is in your trust, they want to see that, and they'll ask you some questions, and you got to prove to them what the value is. So you use the assessed value, which is almost always low, because they are not going to go after this property for that $40,000. It cost them more than the 40 to go collect the 40. They will release the lien because you're not the one who incurred it. Because you bought the house, they have no reason to punish you. So they'll release the lien. They'll send you a release of lien in the mail. And once you record that release of lien, there is no more $40,000 lien on this house. Now the $40,000 still stays on the borrower, but it does not attach to the house. So you got to be very careful. You don't go in there and tell this guy, well, I'm going to pay off your IRS tax lien. Because you're not. Everybody understand that? So knowing this, put yourself in a pretty good position. Is that a question you had?
Yes, I do. So at what point is it worth it for the IRS to pursue that lien?
No house you're ever going to buy.
For the IRS to pursue.
No house you're ever going to buy. The IRS has to go through a mountain of it would take them a year to even get this house to the end conclusion, and I promise you it would cost them way more than that pathetic $40,000. They are not pursuing a single family house that you're ever going to come in contact with. They're just not. They could, but they're not.
Do you think that the seller may be looking at giving it for that price with the thought that he's going to be released from the $40,000?
Well, I don't know what the seller's thinking, because I haven't talked to them, but I do know that they're asking $250,000 for a $340,000 house. So I don't know until I talk to them.
Why did they ask you, are you going to pay off the lien?
What if they ask you, are you going to pay off the
So
lien?
what are you going to tell them?
I would say, is that a requirement of me buying the house?
Yes, it is.
Then what are we going to do about the price?
It's dropping by that price.
Or somewhere near it? And then we'll pay it off, won't we? When we sell the house. I do not have to pay this lien off to buy this house. If the seller deeds me the house, the lien stays on it, and I get the lien, not on me, but it stays on the house. That doesn't mean I have to pay it off. I can pay it off. Well, I have to pay it off when I sell the house. Yeah, because no lender is going to approve the loan on it and wants to get clear title, so this will have to be paid off when I sell it. It just shows up on the closing statement as a lien payoff. You'll never come out of pocket for a nickel to pay the $40,000 lien. And of course, during all of this time, you can always try to negotiate a reduction of the $40,000 lien if you want to. All right, complicated enough.
This was a yellow letter lien too.
A yellow letter lien, perfect. All right, what are we gonna do? What are you gonna sell it for? Well, first of all, they said you could buy it for $250. They are aware that that's not cash.
Yeah. And I told him there'd be payments.
I don't have any terms down here then.
Transfer the payments to you.
No, I haven't quite gotten back to him yet. I
All
started
right,
filling that out.
listen to me, guys. Listen closely. If you are on the phone with the seller, and you don't fill out that block right there, there's absolutely no excusable reason not to do so, except you're putting it off because you're afraid to ask the questions. That is the only reason, period. Case closed. We don't get on the phone with a seller, then call them back later to ask them the questions we should ask them while we had them on the telephone. Because if we don't get these answers, we don't know if we have a deal. They very well might want $250,000 cash, and that will kill this entire deal. Because we are not paying $250 for a house only worth $340. We don't do that if it's cash. Clear? That is the most important block on that page right there. Get it filled out. It's 3 questions. They're in the script. For you guys watching, I'm not always this nasty.
I'm going to call the seller for him this afternoon.
You can end that where you want. Okay. All right, that's enough for now. We'll let you know when we're going to do another broadcast.
Can't wait to see you again.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye.